Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video to show you kind of a comparison to the products that I was using prior to purchasing Younique and with Younique now. I've noticed a huge difference in just like the few days that I've had it. Fell in love with it, so I wanted to do a comparison because I know a lot of my friends are worried about the price. Now I wanted to show you something. So this is what I was using before. It is the Neutrogena Shine Control Makeup. This is the foundation that I was using. This is like $12 a bottle. I was going through one of these every maybe like 2.5 to 3 months, maybe 3.5 depending on how much I was wearing it. Now I wear my makeup to work every day. I generally work 6 days a week, so I wear it a lot. And I thought this stuff was great when I first started buying it and started using it. I was actually using it in addition to the Neutrogena Shine Control powder. So I was caking this on and then putting this on top of it. Underneath all of that I had concealer, which I've used a few different ones, but the one I've been using lately before Younique was this Super Stay Better Skin Concealer and Corrector by Maybelline. I don't remember how much this cost me, but I'm sure it was probably at least like $6-7. So I've had this for probably about 2.5 3 months now. There's still a little bit in it, but I was like scraping the side of the bottle for it. So, and that I was just kind of using to cover any redness, any like blemishes. I have like a couple little moles on my face, so I was kind of covering that up a little bit so they're not quite as noticeable, don't stand out as much. Now what I'm using is the Younique Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer, which, I mean, when I first got it I was like, oh, that's a really small bottle, but the coverage is amazing and you barely have to use any, and I'll show you that. And then the Mineral Touch Liquid Foundation. These are both in Scarlet because I'm very fair skin tone, kind of a neutral undertone, neutral to cool, but this is working great for me. So I am going to put this on and show you the difference. So give me just a moment and I'm gonna get ready. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So how gorgeous is this? Lying straight down my face. So I wanted to show you my Too Faced half and half of what I was using before. I'm gonna do this on the left hand side. Don't mind me, I'm very new to making makeup videos, so I'm trying to do this in my phone with a mirror next to it. So it may take me a little longer than normal. So this is kind of how I was applying it before. And I'm going to do exactly what I was doing before so that way you can see the difference. And then I'll show you the products that I'm using now. So before with my concealer, I was literally just dotting it on and then dabbing it with my finger, kind of covering these spots a little bit, and the redness, which I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that, I mean, your hands are porous too, and that's gonna absorb makeup as well, so you're not gonna get as good a coverage just using your finger. But this is kind of what I was doing every day to get ready for work. So it kind of covers a little bit of my redness. You can still see my mole and everything, which, I mean, no big deal, but it just kind of covered it a little bit. Sometimes I would go over like this one a little bit more. Okay. So that's what I was doing with that. And then this stuff, I want to show you this. If I can get it out. I always thought I was gonna like bruise the top of my hand because you get down to the bottom of this and really have to slam it down. Okay, so I would start with about like that much, sometimes maybe a little bit less. I mean, if you can see, that's quite a bit. That's a lot of foundation. You see that? Let me find, I didn't get my brush out for it. So let me dig for a moment. Give me 1 sec. I thought I had everything ready, but apparently not. So, whew, just got it on my boob. Way to go! So, I was using just this like liquid foundation brush from Revlon. Really needs cleaned out right now. But I haven't used it since before last time I cleaned my brushes. So I would just like start with a little bit here, and then I kind of put it all over. And I guess I wanted to show you how much I was using for my entire face, so I'm probably going to have to like pause this again and go take some of it off of my hand. I've never tried to do this with a giant black line down the center of my face, so this is new. I'm so used to like putting this all over my entire face and then mixing it in, so this is kind of difficult. See, this is something we're all going to learn together on. The more videos I make for you guys, the better I'll get at this. And how cool will that be? So the reason I was using this Neutrogena Shine Control is because my face is really strange. Sometimes it will be really dry in like my T-zone area and right on my cheeks here. And so sometimes when I would apply my foundation, it would look kind of like flaky. I don't know how to describe that to you really, but because my face was dry in spots. But by the end of the night, oh no, by the end of the night at work, because I work in a restaurant, it would get so hot and I'd sweat so much that I literally would be completely shiny. So when I first started using this stuff, it gave me great coverage and I wasn't as shiny throughout my evening at work, and that worked out great for me because I didn't want to be shiny, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, oh, I finally found a foundation that is going to work great for me. So this is, I think, about the coverage that I would normally give myself with this stuff. And then of course I ran out of primer a while back, and I just didn't want to spend the money on buying new primer, so I ended up getting like eye primer. I ended up getting this concealer that I showed you, and I would just put that over my eyes. And I'm not going to do my eyes today, I'm just going to do the face, because otherwise this video is going to be really long. It's probably already going to be kind of lengthy as it is, but as you can see, it still gives me decent coverage. Just blend it. You see that? So not bad for drugstore, department store. Let me take this off of my hand, and I'm going to show you Younique on the other side, and then we'll do like the bronzer that I use and the blush and all that. So give me just a sec. Okay, so we're back. So now I'm just gonna conceal and do the foundation on this side with Younique. the Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer. So I want to show you. Literally, the tiniest drop goes the longest way. Like, I don't know if you can see that little pinprick there. I kind of wiped it off a little bit to make sure it's not like hanging out of the bottle there. But and this, I might, you know, generally use a little bit more than that for my entire face, but I don't want to waste this amazing product. So I just want to show you how I do this. So a lot of people will use the concealer brush. I don't yet have that. So what I've been doing since I got this is just kind of dotting a little bit up here, a little bit here on my nose, because I do get, my skin does get kind of red, so I like the full face coverage that this gives me. So I just kind of spread it out a little bit with my finger until I get this amazing brush. But I got myself, right after I think it was like the day after I got this stuff in the mail, went and got myself a Beauty Bud, just a cheapy one for now. And I've been using this to apply my concealer, and it's working out great for me. This is really hard for me to see here. Gotta get used to this camera stuff. So I'm basically just blending with my Beauty Bud, covering all that redness, making sure I blend it all in. And as you can see, just that tiny little pinprick worth of concealer has covered this entire half of my face. Okay. So coverage with just the concealer, already amazing. First time I put this stuff on, I fell in love. I was like, oh my god, I could wear just the concealer and be fine. Don't want to do that, but okay. So with the foundation, you just want to drain everything out of that there. I like to shake it up a little bit, spin it, give it a whirl. All right. So you don't need very much of this. I'm going to show you. I bought the June Kudos, which came with the concealer, the liquid foundation, a free foundation brush, and the face primer. Now, I'm not using the face primer on this side today. I do have a little sample that came with my presenter kit, but I wanted to show you just the coverage that I've had in the last few days before I received that, because the primer was on back order and I have not received it yet. I actually got an email really early this morning, and I'm pretty sure it's on its way now, so I'm really excited. So literally, you only need a few drops. For my whole face, I've been using maybe like 4, 5 at most drops. I don't really do like a full drop, so it's like a half drop kind of. But I'm gonna use 2 just to start on this side. We're gonna put one on each side there. So, just like that. It spreads out a little bit in the brush. But this brush is so smooth and so soft, so. Okay. So then what I do is I'm just gonna dot it on. Make me look like I look crazy, but so once you get it dotted on and kind of on there, you just wanna blend it in, circular motions. You know, and if you start out with this and you don't think it's enough coverage, you can always add more. I may add just a little teeny bit more. This is really hard to see in my camera, you guys. I'm trying my best. I'm so used to just holding a mirror like directly up to my face and doing all of this, so I found, since I've had this, I will literally get my makeup blended in, my foundation, and then I will continue to rub this brush on my face because it is so super soft. It feels so good. I am just in love with it. Okay. So, I don't know. You can see the difference in this versus this, but this looks lighter because it's just caked on. It's literally, if you were to see me in person, I mean, you can't, it's not like bunched up or anything, but there's a lot of it there. Obviously, you saw that. This stuff, barely any, gives me almost the same exact coverage that this did, but it looks way better and it looks more natural, I think. And like I said, if you don't think there's enough, you can always add a little bit more, but just be careful because you don't want to get too much. You don't need too much. And you can do layers if you're one of those people that likes completely full coverage and you know, you are worried about it. You can always add more, but this stuff is so light and it dries to a powder finish. So over here, once my foundation dried on my face before, I would go in and use the powder, which obviously, look, I barely have any left because that's just how much I used it all the time. And if I ever started to get shiny throughout the day, I would reapply it. So it's gotta work a little harder to get it out of here so I can show you. So I would just like pat this on. Sometimes a lot, sometimes a little. It just depended on the day and how my face was. Trying to make sure I go like right to the line. Okay. So this is kind of what I was doing with this. This side, I don't even have to do that. Alright, and I wish I could show you what this looked like after the end of the day. I'll have to like try to find a picture or something, because I'm sure I have plenty of them. But after that, I was using this bronzer, which I've had this bronzer for years. I don't know, I went a long time without using it, so I think I can barely read what it is. It's CoverGirl of some sort. It's just so old. Probably not great, but essentially I would just get a little bit. I never used a lot, and I would apply it right here, maybe a little bit more. So this stuff I think is, I don't know, I think it's so old, I'm having trouble getting the right amount that I need, or want, I guess I should say. And I would just like blend it in. Can't really tell in the video, but okay. So then we would move on to the blush, which I had just recently gotten this. I decided to try something new, and it was CoverGirl, and it was cheap, but it was kind of pretty, so I got it. It is Classic Color Blush Rose Silk, $5.40. Probably spent like, I don't know, maybe $5 on this. So I just had a little e.l.f. blush brush, and I would just get a little bit and apply it to like the apples of my cheek and bring it up a little bit because my face is kind of more oval. And then I just kind of blend it a little bit with my fingers. All right. So now I'm going to show you, excuse me, what I did yesterday. So yesterday, since I got my presenter kit, and I don't have the full-size products yet, I was using the samples of the Beachfront Body Bronzer. Since I'm fair skin toned, I use Sunset. So this is what I did yesterday. Start a little bit. I don't use a lot of bronzer. I don't need a lot. I don't tan. Obviously, I burned, so it's gonna look really obvious if I use a lot of it. So I'm just gonna apply this here. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know if it's the lighting or if it's my camera, but it's really hard to see the bronzer in this. But if I look in my mirror, I can see it. So I'll have to invest in like a better webcam or something instead of using my phone. I don't know. I thought the Galaxy S7 would be great for this, but it's better than the webcam on my laptop because that one just sucks. So, so then I used the samples of the Moonstruck Minerals Pressed Blush, and yesterday I couldn't really decide what I wanted to use. I think I used Scandalous, but today I'm gonna try Stunning, which is this one right here. So if I can get it open, I'll show you. And you literally just need like the tiniest amount. Bring it up. Still really hard for me to do this in the camera rather than my mirror. I have my mirror right next to my camera, and so I keep, if you notice I'm looking over here, it's because I keep trying to look at that. So don't need much, just a little bit. And that was like way less than what I used of the CoverGirl over here. And I think you can see it a lot better. Now this is obviously not my full face because I always go all out and do bold eyes, as I've told you in other videos. So this, bring it a little closer. You can see the difference. And my face feels so much lighter on this side than on this side. I can guarantee if I wanted to look like a crazy person and go to work like this, by like less than halfway through the night, this side would just be shiny and probably turning red again, and I would feel like my face is melting off because literally, okay, I have glasses. Not a huge prescription, but I wear them at work all the time. Helps me see the computers and everything when I'm putting orders in. So by the end of the night with what I was using before, I would take my glasses off and there would literally be so much makeup caked right here that I would have to like clean my glasses off and wipe that, and it made me feel so disgusting. With the Younique, I don't have that problem at all. There's like no makeup on my glasses at the end of the night. So that alone I was in love with. So I hope you guys can see like just this gorgeous difference. And I know that you can all tell how excited I am, especially if like we're friends in real life, and a lot of you can see the excitement and can see how good I feel about this. And I'm just over the moon with this stuff. I cannot believe how amazing it is, and that's why I decided to become a presenter and share this with all of you. And I'm hoping that this will help show you why it's worth it to invest in this and spend the money, because even though it's a lot more than what you'd spend on the stuff at the department stores and the drugstores, the coverage that it gives you, it's going to last you a lot longer because you use so much less of it than you use with the other stuff. Like I said, I can go through one of those bottles of Neutrogena foundation in like 2.5, 3 months. The Younique liquid foundation is probably going to last me anywhere from like 6 to 8 months, maybe even longer. It just depends on how much I use it. And that's amazing. That alone is so wonderful. And I'll be sharing kind of a diagram with you guys of, you know, how long each product would typically last you and the price that it would cost you each day to use. So keep your eye out for that. This video is getting really long, so I am gonna go now, but I hope you enjoyed this video and I can't wait to do some more for you. See you guys later.